I came off injured at half-time, so I missed the second and third goal. I was in the shower and like somebody just kept on running in going, go, go, I'm like, what? Like, what is going on here?
Yes, Robert, how you doing, man? You good?
Andy, you okay, pal?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Welcome to What I Wore. So basically, we've got a collection of shirts here to kind of tell your life story so far. So we're just gonna go through them, some of the ones you liked, some of the ones you hated. Glasgow boy. Yeah. Obviously, such a city, such a footballing city, Celtic and Rangers. Yeah. I want to know, what's it like growing up in a city like that that's so divided in colours, and like, why did you choose to support these guys? Yeah, like usually, you know, you're kind of brought into a family of Celtic or Rangers, and my mum and dad, you know, had Celtic season tickets before me and my brother were born, and so you had no choice. No, I didn't want a choice, to be fair. It was quite an easy one for me, but yeah, look, obviously up in Scotland, it's very Celtic, Rangers, you know, heavy. It's, you know, my side was definitely Celtic, and yeah, I just, you know, I loved watching them when I was a wee boy. Yeah, so you saw like watching them, like, who were some of your heroes? I got Larson top here. Like, this your guy? Yeah, he's my guy, man. He's my guy, yeah. Was he probably like, when you saw him in this shirt, was like one of the key reasons why you wanted to be a footballer yourself? Yeah, you know, he was a huge part of why, you know, like, even like me and my brother, all my mates used to go out in the back garden and score goals and do the Larson celebration, sticking your tongue out and everything. Like, that was our life, do you know what I mean? But, you know, he's one of the greatest players to play for Celtic for me, and, you know, for me to witness his greatest years was amazing. But it was a really good team back then. They had a lot of players, you know, like Petrov and Lambert and people like that. And loving a club, idolising a club, then you get to wear the strips like as a youth team player there. What's that? Just talk to me about that feeling. That was the best bit, you know, obviously the day you get told like you're going to sign for the under 11s or whatever, under 10s it was, but then the day you get like all the tracksuit, the bag, the strips, and that, it's like, it's class. It's just like, I couldn't take it off. I just used to wear it to like in the street and everything, and just wore my tracksuit at all times, because, you know, that was the best part. You felt as if you were like a proper player, but you were only 10 years old, do you know what I mean? And that, for me, that was the best part, just walking about in Celtic clothes all the time. Then like Queen's Park phoned me, and, you know, I've always said it to Queen's Park when they first phoned, I wasn't exactly, you know, blown away. Like, do you know what I mean? I wasn't like, I was hoping like, when I first get released from Celtic, maybe to get, you know, another SPL club or whatever, and then Queen's Park phoned, and I was like, okay, like I said to Mum and Dad, yeah, I'll go to their training, let's see how it is. And, you know, the first day I went to training, I just fell in love with it, and I thought, you know, this is the place for me, this is the place where I'll kind of, you know, be able to express myself the most, and, you know, luckily. So how important would you say like these straps were to your career coming? Everything, really. I always think this part of my life was amazing, and it was like a fairy tale and everything, but this is where my career started. When I get let go, I took a knock, and it was then where I had probably my first doubter. You know, I had somebody that didn't believe I could be a footballer, and it was all about proving them wrong. But 15 to 16 at Queen's Park, I was terrible. The first season I played, really? I was terrible. Yeah, I was just going through everything. Do you know what I mean, like growing and stuff like that, and everything going on, and trying to adapt to not play with Celtic anymore. First year. In that mode, did you think like maybe I'm not? Nah, I thought this is it. I'm finished with now. I'm finished with. But luckily, like the next season, there was like 2 teams. It was like a weird structure, and I went into the lesser team, and I just, like, the under-17s was a huge year for me. I just managed to express myself, played left back, started to find my role in the team, and then, you know, from that moment on, I've generally not looked back. For sure. And then you get that move, almost like, was it a justification? Like, you know what, I've proved myself, I've got my move now. Like, how did it feel like wearing this shirt? Well, I love, like, my year at Dundee United's, like, you know, legendary. Smile, but I love it, I love it, honestly. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave Dundee United. I was only there for a year. Obviously, we'll come to Hull, but when Hull came calling, I thought it was too soon. I thought, like... You didn't think you was ready? I thought I was ready, but I loved Dundee United. I was just with like, we had such a good young team then, and it was just like we were all playing so well, and everything was going well. We had a really good manager, good coaches, and pre-season, you know, I was flying, and then luckily I got my start, and I think I started every game for Dundee United, and we obviously got to the Scottish Cup final, everything like that. But you know, that year I just look back on with such fond memories, and, you know, loved my time and loved playing football. When you find time for Hull in these stripes, yeah, do you just realise straight away the Premier League is different?
Yeah.
Like, was it like a shock to you, like, or was you kind of preparing for that anyway?
It was in the January at Dundee United. I remember Everton tried to sign me. Roberto Martinez came up and watched me and everything, and they wanted to loan me back to Dundee United and stuff. So I knew there was going to be interest in the summer. How strong the interest was going to be, I didn't know, but I remember going down, and I remember saying to my agents, look, I'm just going to go down, I'm going to see the place, I'm going to come back up, I'm not going to sign on the weekend. And I think if you see the picture that I signed with, that's why my hair's all over the gaff, honestly. I was away for pre-season for 3 weeks, it was terrible back then, and I still look at that picture and I hate it because it gets brought up quite a lot with me and Harry Maguire signing the same day, and it's not a great picture for me. But as soon as I spoke to Steve Bruce on the phone for about half an hour, and he was just like, you're ready. Do you know what I mean? I've watched you, you're ready. You're going to come down, you're going to play a big part. And he filled me with confidence.
And that gave you confidence?
Yeah, it gave me the confidence to go, do you know what, if the manager believes in me, I believe in myself, then, let's go down and do it.
Obviously, the red of Liverpool is so iconic. Yeah. Everyone knows how much history the club has. When you sign for them, what's that feeling when you wear the shirt for the first time? Is it pressure? Is there weight on the shirt? Is it confidence that I'm at one of the biggest clubs in the world? Like, what's the feeling?
I wouldn't say I got the confidence. I got, maybe my first couple of months of not playing, that was maybe down to it, for maybe the first time since, maybe getting released from Celtic, I actually doubted myself a wee bit, strangely enough. Yeah, like, I still looked at, when I was playing up against and training against Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. And
well, twisting you up in that.
I looked at them as opponents, I didn't look at them as teammates. Like, I looked at them as opponents, and I had to get that out my system, I had to get that kind of feeling of, right, I'm here, I'm at Liverpool. Like you said, the first time I pulled on the shirt, one signing day and everything, I was like, yeah, this is it, look at me, like, you know what I mean? And I couldn't wait to send the picture to my boys, like, to my family, everyone, like, I couldn't take it off, do you know what I mean? But then obviously my first couple of months was difficult, and it was just me, first of all, learning the way that the manager wanted me to play. It's quite a unique way to play, and it took time, but it was also me believing in myself, believing that I belonged at the highest stage. Maybe throughout my whole career I was a kind of underdog and stuff like that, and then coming to the big club, I still seen myself as an underdog, but you were playing with one of the clubs that expected trophies, and it was trying to flip that feeling and that emotion towards it, and luckily I managed to get there in the end.
Cool, so we're going to move to Champions League final, right? I have to say, the first one, I have to bring up the first one. So if you come around here, bro, like, I just want to know, like, you come from Scotland, you played at Dundee, now you're playing in a Champions League final room with superstars everywhere. Like, just talk to me about the whole day of, like, preparing for a final and putting on that shirt for the final.
Yeah, look, of course you were nervous, but like the feeling in your stomach and everything was a good feeling. Like, you can't create that, it just happens when it's big games, and for me, it's important to use that in a good way. It's important to use the feelings you have in your stomach and your body in a good way, and use it as positive energy instead of negative. But there's no way you can prepare for that the same as other games. Of course it does, but it was a massive experience for us, and one that we look back on with regret, but obviously the next season we managed to put it right.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to move into the next thing. Before we get to the final, we have to talk about this game, yeah? So I was at the first leg, right, when the 3-0. I think, this Messi guy, he's on a different level, like Liverpool are going home. So talk to me about going into the second leg. You see these guys in the yellow away shirt, they're coming with all the swags, they've got the advantage. Do you guys really think you can do what you did?
It's easy for us to answer now because it happened. We can say but like what I can say is the way we were in the changing room, 10 minutes before you go out and kick off, it was something I've never seen and something I've not. Really? It was just the focus. It was the the way you could see everyone was kind of pumped up for it, but it was more the focus that I looked round the changing room and I go, we could do something.
When the fourth goal goes in, just talk to me, is it elation? Like, are you trying to stay focused because the game's still going on? Like, what's that?
Well, obviously, I came off injured at half-time, so I missed the second and third goal. I was in the shower, and like somebody just kept on running in going, go! I'm like, what? Like, what is going on here? I was trying to get ready quick as I could, so I went out at 3-0, and then I remember the fourth goal went in, the manager turned around and went, like, what happened? He never seen it because he was talking. He didn't. I think Trent even took it too quickly for him. So, and I was like, I just remember hugging him. I was like, I don't care. Send him. Don't worry about it.
What was it like? So obviously you're going into the Champions League final. You played Real Madrid. You've played Barca. But you're playing against a team that's domestically, that did it make the final slightly different, or was it just like we're in a Champions League final here?
Yeah, it felt as if we were in a Champions League final, and luckily we had the experience of the season before, and you know, we'd done things a wee bit differently leading up to it, and things like that, and you know, we were confident going into that game. You know, you know, you can talk about games in the past, but going into that game, we were confident. We believed that we were better than Tottenham, and if we could play to our potential, then we would win that game. And luckily, it showed that way. You know, it won't go down as a classic Champions League final, I'm not sure. But
got the job done.
Obviously, I hope to create that feeling again. But you know, that night I'll never ever forget.
For sure. So, Champions League winner at this point. You just missed out on the league that season as well. But then the next season, you do it. Like, what was it like to be a part of a team in this shirt that have brought like the league championship to Liverpool in over 30 years? Like, was that, talk to me, is this more special than the Champions League?
I get asked this question quite a lot, and it's hard because the Champions League was a one-off night, so I'd say that night was incredible. But the day you sign for Liverpool, you feel the pressure of trying to bring the Premier League home. You know, like. You know, the fans wanted it. You know, in the time of that 30 years, they won a Champions League in 2005. They won, you know, they've won it, you know, 5 times before, but they'd never won a Premier League. And I think you feel that. And for us we got off to an amazing start that season, just win after win after win, and we won against big teams coming from behind. We looked as if we weren't going to like drop any points, and you know, luckily we were a class above that season, and we obviously brought the Premier League home to, unfortunately, an empty stadium. But you know, that was only the down part of it. But I'm sure people celebrated it right and properly, and you know, we certainly did.
Obviously, you spoke about how important it was to, you know, play football just in general, and like becoming a professional football player. But what's it like, you putting on the colours for the first time for your country?
Wow, it was incredible, because you know, when you're a kid, you can think about playing with Celtic, playing with Liverpool, playing with teams like that, but the one thing you know is you want to play for your country.
I can only play for Scotland.
I can only play for Scotland. So, and I wanted to play with Scotland and everything, and you know, when that happens, I think I was only about 8 months professional at that time, so it came real quick for me. You know, and you know, my debut was amazing. We beat Poland 1-0. It was only a friendly. Played half an hour, and the manager was buzzing with me, and you know, that was the start of my Scotland career, and you know, I just love playing with Scotland. It means everything to me.
For sure, and obviously, ironically, your first goal was against England. What was that like, scoring for your nation?
Yeah, it was. You know, it was at Celtic Park as well, which, you know, obviously playing at a full parkhead with Scotland fans and everything, it was mad. But we got beat 3-1, and for me it was so hard, because I woke up the next morning thinking, oh mate, I've just scored against England, I've scored for Scotland, everything like that. And then a minute later, you're like, no, but we could beat 3-1.
But then against Belgium was your first time as captain. Like, what was that feeling like? Was that more special than a debut? Like
unbelievable. Obviously, at the start of the week, the manager had told me, look, I want you to be my kind of new long-term captain. Everything like that. I'd managed to phone, you know, my missus, my family, everyone being like, I'm the captain now. Like, I don't know how this has happened, but I'm here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Obviously, that game I look back on, and I think we got beat 4-0 or something like that. And you know, it was a bad time. It was, you know, tough. We weren't picking up results. The Tartan Army weren't, you know, really with us. It was, you know, we were only maybe getting 10,000 at games and stuff, and because we weren't producing on the pitch, and it was a tough time to be a Scotland player. You know, we were in a transition period where a lot of the older boys had retired. We were bringing in young players who were inexperienced and trying to gain that experience, and we're getting the benefits for that now. But when you were playing through it, it wasn't great. You know, we were getting beat.
But then you guys did turn the corner, and you qualified for a major tournament against these guys. What was that feeling like? The qualification, like you over the line, like you've done it, like over all that torrid time, after all the history of not making a major tournament. What was this feeling like against these guys?
You know, when I look back, for all the big games I've played, you know, 2 Champions League finals, the playoff final, Scottish Cup final, all these finals were huge. But I think that one was the most emotional. Yeah, it was the one I didn't quite cry, but I was close to it. I was close to it at one point. Yeah, I was close to it. But you know, you get the chance of qualifying through the Nations League, and you beat Israel at home, and then you think, okay, we need to go away to Serbia, which is, you know, such a tough place to go, and being able to play as well as we played was incredible. And what I liked about it the most is we lost an equaliser in the last minute, and I guarantee 5 million people back in Scotland were like, oh, here we go again, we ain't qualifying, we're never going to qualify, but the lads believed, and obviously taking it to penalties, what a feeling, and you know, what a night we had after it. It went on probably a wee bit too late, or a wee bit too early, but what a night we had. We enjoyed it, we deserved it, and obviously finally we'd ended the long wait to get Scotland back to a major tournament.
You did play in a major tournament, Euro 2020 or 2021, with one of the best shirts of the tournament, I think.
Yeah.
What was that, just playing in a major tournament, like internationally?
We wanted to do well, and obviously we done well against England, but the other 2 games we didn't quite get the results. But it's something we'll gain from, gain experience from, gain confidence from, more importantly. And I hope we don't need to wait another 23 years, because I certainly won't be there if that's the case, and I want to be there again. But honestly, the 3 games I loved every minute of, and it just meant so much to me.
Beautiful. So Roa, last question, yeah? You're in a burning building, and you have to save 2 shirts, right?
Wow.
So
out of all these?
Out of all these. So one shirt is based on your most fondest memory in the football shirt,
yeah,
and then one is based straight on the style. So if you like that United shirt, you can take it, and I won't say anything. Alright, so we're gonna start with the one your most fond memory in the football shirt, and you've got some great memories here. Yeah. You have to pick one, bro.
That was the Champions League final one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one. So that's the one you're going with.
I'd definitely go that one. Champions League final one. Wore it all season. Loved it. I'd go
Turnover against Barca. You have to go with that one.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
So now this one, strictly on the style. What shirt you like based on the style? Me and you are going out. What we rocking?
I don't think it's even close. I think I touched on it earlier. I've got to go Bumblebee. Yeah. I love this strip. Honestly, if Celtic brought out another one, I'd buy it straight away. They brought out an old school one, but it wasn't quite the same.
Wasn't quite Bumble.
This one was a huge part of my growing up. Like everyone had this strip, and I think obviously that one wouldn't fit me. But if I could find another one that could fit me,
that's the one.
Yeah, I'd grab the two. Yeah, that's for sure.
Appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, mate.
Appreciate
Top
it.
man. Thank you.